Peace, power, and protection, tribe. Come on in. Let's go live. Send this to a couple people. Ain't no particular order. Just sending it to whoever come up on the list. Peace, tribe. Peace. Sending it to whoever on the list. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Peace, tribe. How y'all doing? Let me wave. Greetings, Empress Suke. Greetings. I hope y'all doing well today. Throw a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I want to make sure y'all can hear me out here on the porch. Peace, tribe. Peace, nephew. Peace, goddess Nibiru. How y'all been doing? What you been up to? I hope y'all been ascending. What's the deal? You know, man, tribe, it's a lot going on. You enter and overstand. This week, has anybody else been having like a lot of vivid downloads or uncovering just a lot of stuff about self? Like, it's a lot going on. For some people, they distracted. But if you wasn't distracted this week with all of this energy and everything that hit, you should have got a massive awakening should have hit you. You know, you get ready to hear the noise. The noise getting ready to come. But you know, this week, y'all, it was a lot of metaphysical things that took place for some of the people who chose it. It was the energy. It's the energy that came back. Those gates done opened up. And if you were spiritually in tune this week, you got hit with some major downloads, bro. It ain't no way that energy could have missed you. That energy hit me, and it took me to a place where I just had to stop everything. You know how like you get and hold on, throw a 1 in the chat. Can y'all hear me over this noise? Give me a second. Wealthy rising, James. Give me a second. I got a spiritual download that was so deep, I had to take a break, y'all. You know, I'm trying to think of how to bring it to y'all. Just give me a second. Bear with me. Anyway, the download that I got was about my past lives. What I did here before. It was about soul contracts and agreements that I made before I incarnated this time. And this is important. Yeah, it was serious. That's why you hear the frequency attack. And it really do affect me, y'all. That's another thing that happened this weekend. I'm very sensitive to light, to frequency, and to sound. My auric field. Like, when they out here doing this, I'm literally shivering. I'm trying to balance myself. That's why I'm pausing. Man. Let me tell y'all something. When I say we done went through a real life trade in fucking places. A real fucking life trade in places. You really gotta break it down. You really gotta think about it for a second. If you is an original being on this land, if you was the original being, if you the original being, then you know that something real serious had to happen in order for you to now be in this system and be a slave. Follow where I'm going. Just think about what I'm saying to you. If you in this system right now and you're oppressed and you an original being with original DNA, DEA, all of them codes, think about what I'm saying. Then that means that you was the first on this land when it first manifested, right? Right. Throw a 1 in the chat if y'all could hear me. I want to make sure y'all could hear me. If you an original being, that means that is no land on this earth that your ancestors did not rule. This is important. So how is it that now you in a system and everything that's ruling this system don't look nothing like you? If somebody got ready to come into your house right now and take everything you got, every fucking thing, no, fuck it, every fucking thing. If a motherfucker knocked on your door right now, because I don't think y'all understand. I want everybody to understand how crucial this shit was. And wanted to take everything. Everything you done built. All your memories, your pictures that's in your house. Think about it. What's in your house? Your family, your way of life, every fucking thing about you. Your clothes, your books, your knowledge. What would you do? Right now to this day, you'll fight to the death, wouldn't you? You'll fight to the death. Especially if you knew it wasn't no such thing as that. Let's go, because we got to talk about us. Fuck them. If you knew it wasn't no such thing as death, then they could never make you no slave, motherfucker. Because you would just be like, fuck it. Before I work in this system, bitch, it'll be another time for me to come back and make it right. So what I'm telling you, a motherfucker came in our house, bitch, and stole every fucking thing. They stole every fucking thing, motherfucker, fuck it. They murdered every fucking thing. Why you think you reincarnated to this and going through all of these trials and fucking tribulations, bro? You living out some shit that done already occurred. You done already been through a reset before. The last reset is what knocked you off your throne and put these motherfucking clones in power. Somebody better hear me. This system ain't never been our fucking system. Do you understand what I'm saying? A motherfucker came in your house. They stole your way of life. They stole your memories of who you was. They reprogrammed your mind and told you you was supposed to come here and work for them and be a fucking slave, motherfucker. And not use none of your powers that you got to reprogram none of this system and to stay in this system and work for them. It's got to do with the mind, the awakening, and what I'm trying to tell you. Because once you remember it all, you really don't give a fuck no more, bitch. All this bitch could go, bitch. That's the only reason why my soul came back here. Somebody had to be running this land. Somebody had to get killed and sacrifice themselves in order for these motherfuckers to do this. You think blood wasn't shed, my G? That's right, indoctrination. You think these motherfuckers took this shit lightly? You think you laid it down lightly? If a motherfucker came and slit your child's throat in your face, you think you gonna just take that or you gonna fight to the death? You might have died right then trying to protect your child. You might have died right then trying to protect your tribe. I know I did because I seen it, bitch. So what we in now? The Ra said, this system finna collapse into dust, bitch. What you think they did to our system? I'm for real as hell. What you think they did to our system? These motherfuckers murdered, they killed, they raped, they pillaged, they lied, they forced mated and then killed women, men, cut off men's phallus so they couldn't procreate with us, so we'd have to mate with they clone ass, and water down our genetics so we couldn't fucking remember. So you couldn't have the organic chemistry in your body to harmonize for your brain to work, to send you to a higher plane of reality so you could remember who you was. Bitch, fuck these people. Fuck this system. This shit ain't got no power in it for us. Not none. You know, in order to break free from it, you really gotta break free. Because they'll tell you you gotta work for shit that's free, that was given to this earth free, that the great mother put here for you for free. Free fucking energy, bro. And you taking your free energy and your free thoughts and you giving it away for something that don't even fucking exist. A paper dollar, bro. When you die, do you have that paper dollar when you leave here? No. All you got, if you a solar being, is your soul. And let me tell you something about that. The soul does reincarnate. We can come back. Energy is neither created or destroyed, only transferred. That's a principle you need to really understand. Because in your life right now, I'm telling you, if you a solar being and you got a soul, you done made some contracts, bro. See, you got the paper contract down here. But this is a false reality. That's why it's a such thing as a paper contract. Because they trying to keep you on a 3D loop. You understand? They trying to keep you looped on yourself in those contracts. But it's a higher contract than that. What your soul came here to learn. What you came here to recognize. And for some of us, we got actually contracts with each other. Contracts that's higher than this plane, because we not from this plane. We got a soul. And the only reason why you manifested here is to teach yourself these lessons. And as you go through these incarnations, some of them are longer than others, certain things within you get initiated. And once you do these things, they become a part of your spiritual journey and your spiritual record forever. Your I am mortal and I am immortal codes. Peace, beautiful sister. Peace. Bliss you up, light feather of the wind. These contracts that you made, your soul is here for a lesson. Understand? A lesson. You trying to teach yourself how to remember yourself, and you trying to learn a lesson. If you got a soul, I'm talking to the beings with souls right now. So it's certain things that you done went through in your life that are a part of those lessons. That's what people call karma, karmic debt. But really, all karma is you playing out the program of yourself over and over again in this matrix until you awaken to the point that you figure out the program in the system, your system, and you remember yourself, and then you can come out of this system. But until you remember your own solar contracts, you gonna be down here in a 3D contract thinking that you a 3D being, when that ain't got nothing to do with you. It never had nothing to do with you. The only reason why we created Tiamat was for lessons, for our soul to grow. Understand that it's no such thing as death. Not for a being with a soul. Death is just rest for us. That's why you say rest in peace. Because after your soul learned whatever lesson it was, you go to a state of rest. And you incorporate all of those experiences into your soul agreement. Your soul, your record, your codex. And if you didn't get something right, if you didn't learn a lesson, then you make an agreement to come back and repeat that until you could clear that energy. And when you down here and you incarnate, Because lower self is higher self overstand. That's where the karma come into play. Because lower self can get into agreements that higher self have to obey. Because lower self is higher self. Even if lower self is disconnected, you still the tower. You just babbling. Overstand. You still the tower regardless, meaning you still the temple. But until you remember, you cut off from higher self. But you still the base of the temple. So whatever you tell the temple, it's gonna do, right? Until the elevator go up to the top floor, and then you got the full view, and you controlling the temple from the top and not the basement. You know, if you in the basement of the building, that shit look real. It's a whole different perspective of reality. But then you go up in the skyscraper, motherfucker, and then you see above the clouds, and it's a whole different plane. Well, that's how you is, your soul right now. It's planes. That's where they got that concept from. The skyscraper. They building towers because you a tower, my G. That concept came from you. You got floors in you too. And you got an elevator in you too. Magnetically. Who the operator of the elevator? You decide what floor you want to get on and get off on, right? Can't nobody push you in that elevator and tell you what button to hit. You hit the button, right? Well, imagine them buttons as chakras. If don't nobody hit that button, is it gonna light up? Is it gonna go and take you to the plane that you need to go to? Is it gonna go to the right flow? Not until you push that button. Will you even know that floor exists in that building if you ain't never pushed the button and went on that flow? And that's how your life is. These incarnations, you pushing different buttons in the plane. You pushing different buttons in your chakra pattern to get to different floors, different planes. And eventually, once you push all the buttons, you get to the summit. And it ain't no more buttons to push. And when you in the summit, you can see everything. It's a whole different angle of perspective. Not only that, if you know anything about living on the high floors, altitude change, atmosphere change, the principles of everything change up there. You can't even cook the same on the top floor in the penthouse now, as you do when you in the basement. So that's why when you go through this reality and you really start ascending and pushing those buttons, it's physical too. Because you're going up in higher physical planes of magnetics. Everything in this reality is based off a construct that is within you. Exactly, Susan. But the angles of perspective is what keep you looped. Your soul trying to get in the elevator and go to the top floor. To the penthouse. And in this physical reality, you pushing buttons trying to get there. You got to go to every floor and experience every floor. But you can't experience every floor if you in the basement. What's the basement of a building? Nothing but concrete, right? A cell. You can't even get no signal in the basement, can you? Not unless you take and run a cord up to the top and pull the energy from where? From higher self. It's the same concept. And then once you send a receiver up there, what happened? Then the signal could get to the basement, right? So you gotta send something from out this motherfucking basement, this concrete, this prison. And then when you do that, you can see it all. You can remember the different floors, or the different realities, or the different incarnations of yourself. You know, like deja vu, you get that deja vu feeling like, damn, I done did this before, I done seen this before. Yeah, nigga, you did. It's your mind hitting yourself because they told you that death is real. They told you that you a minority here in this system. So when you start going to them higher planes of consciousness, you breaking some concepts and forming the real streams of reality. You collapsing a timeline and putting your timeline back together. Overstand. Exactly. If you don't push them buttons, you stagnate. If you don't open up them chakras, you stuck. And think of those chakras as gates. Gates to you, gates to higher self, gates to knowledge, knowledge of yourself. Because that's the ultimate goal, is knowledge of yourself, to know your program and what you're here for and your purpose. We all got a purpose if you got a soul, a real purpose. Way higher than anything right now in this reality. And you actually living that out right now in your higher purpose, but you don't even, some people ain't even connected enough to realize what's going on. That's why cycles repeat, stuff will repeat in your life. You'll have all of these karmic relationships. You'll be drawn to people you won't understand, that had some tough experiences. Bro, I done had a tough life, bro. That's what some would say. Shit's too real. Let me drink some. Some would say I done had a tough life. And for a long time, y'all, until I had that awakening, I couldn't understand why. You know, you really got to go back to that inner child. My life, this life path, I set it up in a way. I wanted to deal with a lot of different things. Some of it was karma, and some of it was just lessons that I wanted to learn. Some of the hardest lessons that I had to learn come through pain for me. That's literally how I set up my chart. Pain, transformation, awakening. I was looking in my draconic chart, because I'm an Omega Dragon. So I had to go to the Draconic. That's another thing about knowing who you are. Everybody ain't a dragon. This is my journey. I'm an Omega Dragon. So I had to open up my Draconic chart. I went through that chart. It took me to a place because everything in it I already knew to be true. But it's like this awakening journey, you gotta light your own path. Greetings, honey, 422. You ain't late, you right on time. You gotta light your own path. So part of lighting your own path is getting the knowledge of yourself, because you hit codes and certain things to awaken you at certain times and to have certain experiences. That being said, I finally had the experience that I set up for myself to get my chart. So my chart is Pluto, got a lot of Pluto in it. Pluto and Saturn. So I deal with a lot of trauma bonding. What else? Child abandonment. War, prisons, isolation. War. Times of reset. That's the way I set my chart up. That's exactly what I'm going through right now. For me, I'm an empath, a spiritual healer. But for me, the way my chart is set up, and I'm trying to think of the best way to say this, because ain't no other way to say it. I got a siren signature. It's very rare. A siren signature is a powerful gift, because that signature heals. It's a mirror, okay? And it can heal people, but it deals with life and death. But understand, that's what I've done all my incarnations. I don't want to go too far too fast. So in my life, I attract a lot of souls who have been through a lot of trauma. They the mirror of me, because I had to walk that walk and become that trauma too. So for me in my early life, a lot of the men that I dealt with died. Soon as they said they loved me, boom, they was gone. I ain't playing. I would deal with the most, like, for me, it was comfortable. It's a comfort level. I'm comfortable with the killers, bro. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, because ain't no other way to say this. Because maybe somebody going through it and they can't understand it. So maybe it's gonna help you. I came up in gangs. When I was 13, my best friend, I ain't gonna say his name on here out of respect for the dead, because I'm finna say a story that might hurt some people that know him. You understand, to hear how somebody died. But when I was 13, the first man that I ever loved, you understand, was my best friend. And I had to jump off the porch early. I was 9 years old. Think about these ages I'm telling you. I was 9 years old when I had to start hustling. 9 years old, Winston-Salem, when I had to start hustling. Real talk. And I had a best friend. And my best friend, it was like we was both, he is 6 months older than me. And we was next door neighbors. Both our moms on crack. So child abandonment is real. Not being seen is real. We talking about extreme poverty. We talking about maybe one person in the unit got lights and everybody running extension cords from one house to the other house. We talking about everybody seeing who got water on so we could go and get water from that person's house. This is what we talking about. Real poverty. We talking about in line at the soup kitchen for food. We talking about instead of going to the store to buy your school clothes, you are at the homeless shelter getting your clothes for school. We are talking about give a kid a coat. That was me. That was me at 9 years old with my little sister who was about 18 months and my little brother who was 7. And we would walk in Winston-Salem for about 2 miles to eat at the soup kitchen. These is the type of experiences that I've had in my life. So when I was 9, I jumped off the porch because I couldn't take it no more. And when I jumped off the porch, my homeboy across the hall jumped off it with me because he was like, nah, you ain't gonna be out here by yourself. You too smart. He always used to be like, you too smart. You gotta stay in school. You too smart. I was always the nerd in the game, the smart one, motherfucker. So we was too young to really do anything but just like either steal crack from our mom and try to steal crack from our moms and try to sell it. Or sometimes the dudes on the block would let him run some packs and he would let me go with him and then he would give me a cut of his money. So anyway, man, it was like we was there for each other, bro. And so we got all the way to 13. By then, we was really in it. We was initiated. He was on the block selling. It was different then. We even had cars by then. We were driving at 13, motherfucker. And anyway, we was out. It was probably about 2:30 in the morning. This was when you had phone booths. You remember niggas used to post up at the phone booths? We had phone booths, little phone booth, you understand? Little silver phone booth. So it was late. It was just me and him standing out there. And what had happened was he had some beef with some niggas from Cleveland Projects because a bitch he slept with. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. 13, it's realer than real. And I just remember when it happened. You understand? Like, we had talked about it earlier. We was laughing. And he was like, man, them pussy niggas ain't gonna come do shit. I was like, yeah, they not. Them niggas can't fight. Well, lo and behold, me and him was standing there. We was talking. Just imagine, I'm here and he in front of me. I can't see behind him because he's taller than me, so I couldn't see them niggas coming up. And literally, we was having a real deep conversation about all the shit we was going through and stuff. And he was just like, man, he was like, I'm just tired. You understand? I got to change my life. We need a better life. Olivia. He called me Olivia. Everybody that know me call me Olivia. He was like, Olivia, we got to get a better life. We can't keep on doing this shit. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, you know, this shit's fucked up. We got to figure this shit out. So we was talking, just having a real deep conversation. And then he was like, you know what, Olivia? He was like, I love you, man. And I was like, I love you too. And literally, as he said that, and as soon as I said it, bro, I heard a blast, motherfucker. Man. I heard a blast, and then I saw a flash of light, and then I felt all of this like wetness, like all on my fucking face. And then I saw the barrel of a gun, and it clicked. The nigga ran off. So his gun jammed, because I was next. But it jammed. And when it jammed, he ran off. My homeboy was on the ground shaking, no face. His face was on me. Moments like that, yo, don't be sorry, y'all. Don't be sorry. Because it's a deeper meaning to this, I promise. I'm just trying to show you how you could go through the worst and it's going to make you the best in the end. But moments like that happen, yo, is indelible to the soul. My soul, because that's how I set up my chart. I love, pain, transformation, spiritual awakening. So at 9, I developed my first karmic relationship with a man, with a masculine. And when he told me he loved me, and I expressed pure love to him, it was his time to leave this spiritual plane and go do something else. Because what I learned about myself is that I'm something called an initiator. I initiate different things on a spiritual level in people. But at 13, you can't understand that. You understand? So when he got killed, I used to have all of these visions of him. And even now, still to this day, every now and then, he'll come to me. You understand? At the time when I was younger, I didn't understand why. It almost felt like, not that I was haunted, but just, you enter and understand, like everybody who I got close with, no sooner than I get close with them or express love, they would die. And I went through this with a lot of different men, you understand, in my life. Like, it's either one or two ways it would go in my relationships. My relationships was very karmic. You understand? Very karmic. And most of the men that I dealt with was gang affiliated. They dealt with probably child abandonment. They had bad mothers. Motherfucking killers, bro. That's what my dad too. I'm comfortable there. I be comfortable there. Like, people will be afraid of these type of people, afraid of these type of men. Like, these men got a lot of warrior ancestors in them. Overstand my job. But it don't look like that to this reality. They just look like troubled souls, you understand? Because they ain't never experienced pure love. I'm going somewhere with this. In the minute that they feel that pure love, it open up their heart chakra, then they can ascend. They learned their soul lessons. So a lot of people that I love purely left here, and then they go to the other side, and they still with me. There's no such thing as death. But that was their karmic contract with me. That's the contracts that we made before I even manifested here and before they did. So some of these men that you seeing that's out here, and it seem like they wilding and they killing and the YNs and all of that stuff, over and understand, bro, they living out some shit that done took place way before, some lifetimes before this lifetime even started, bro. This is what I'm saying. And for a lot of us women, we healers, because in our karmic past, we was the priestess that held people's hands when they crossed over. Overstand, we was the spiritual healers that really did it, that really can reach the soul and heal it. So you still living that out now. We literally walk in between life and death. We literally is a gatekeeper. You got to understand what that frequency mean. That frequency mean when souls is ready to ascend in their journey, they come to you, because you the last stop before it's time for them to go back. You the ultimate lesson, or the last lesson. And once they learn that lesson, there's no more need to be here in the 3D. But the only way is the mirror, the feminine and the masculine. We mirrors. So all the pain and hurt that's in him and the abandonment, you heal that. And then when he loved you, he healed you. And you merge auric fields through sex or however. And if you really is a divine feminine with real portal energy, bro, and you really dealing with a masculine with real portal energy, bro, you can come together. And that alone can open up some chakras. All of them. Every last one of them. And when those chakras open up, now we talking about the spiritual plane. And that's what really matters. And that's when you link to higher self. And all of those versions of you, those shadows, because that's what they dealing with, yo. And that's what the women dealing with too. But you don't even realize you dealing with your own shadows through him. You seeing yourself through him, and he seeing himself through you. He's seeing the soft, nurture version of himself, and you seeing the warrior, killer that's in you and him. Both of y'all got the shadows. It's mirror on mirror, my G. But you, the divine feminine, you made the agreement to be the healer. For me, that was my agreement. So understand, in my young life, I dealt with a lot of people that was in prison, guns, knives, death, murder, incest, rape, everything from young. Was a ward of the state, was in foster care, all kind of stuff. So I seen a lot from young. A lot of different experiences that shaped me, you understand? And I was going through those things, and when I was going through them, I couldn't understand. You understand what I'm saying? Like, especially the mother thing, like feeling like my mom didn't love me. Like the child abandonment is a big one for me. So when I saw that in a masculine, like I remember I used to deal with masculines that had a lot of problems with their mothers. They had mother issues. And they would always come to me and I would nurture them. You understand? Just like a mother, I take care of them. I take them right off their mama couch and bring them right in my house. I'm just telling you the truth. You understand? And they'll come, you understand? And people look at it like, that's a man, he living. No, but that he living off you, that's not what it's about. That wasn't what the agreement was. He was my lesson and I was his. You understand? Like they were my lessons and I was theirs. And it was certain things that I had to learn through love, pain, transformation, and rebirth. On a spiritual level, that's what awakens me. That's the way I set up my contract. So that's kind of what happened over the last week when I went through my chart. You understand? A lot of stuff that I knew to be true about my life and my journey, and why, you understand, I get on here and I talk to people and people like, it's just something about you, or sometimes it's just something about people you feel familiar, you feel like you know them, you enter and understand. And sometimes it be some of the darkest people, yo, that I could see the positivity in, I could see the light, but I realized that the soul ain't dark. It's like, for those men that was broken that I dealt with, y'all, it's like I didn't see them as broken. I always saw every man that I loved, and even my friends, you know, my friend girls too, that I had broken relationships with or died. I always see their best self. You understand, when nobody else could. And I think that's what healed them a little bit, because everybody saw the worst, but I didn't see them like that. I could see more because I could see the soul and I could feel the hurt. You understand? I could relate, bro, because it was me. It's the mirror. Yeah, truth and potential. Because it is there. It's a soul there. And you feel more. You a healer of a soul. So when you seen a broken soul, or a soul that's ready to end its journey, even though you might not know it, that soul cling to you because you the transport to help it get there. And so a lot of masculine from past lives, a lot of y'all was warriors, yo. You gotta enter and understand. Now I'm finna take this somewhere with you, because we gotta come off of the physical and we gotta go to the spiritual for a second. We gotta set up some principles. The first principle is this. It's gonna go back to what I said. When we was on this land, this was a matriarch. It's a matriarchal system. So that means what for the original people? That it was women that was running the land. So understand who head they had to cut off. But understand, we wasn't running it by ourselves. Of course, we had what? Our sons, our husbands. And we knew real spirituality. So when we got married, we linked souls, my G, because we knew how to do that. We knew that forever could mean forever for us in this matrix journey. Just understand what I'm saying. You got to think about when you incarnated here, when you knew all your spiritual practices, you still got that same soul. So you may have been initiated in this stuff. You may have had a husband that's like done passed on, but could be your spiritual husband now with your ancestors. You done linked up and in the spiritual plane watching you right now. Spiritual spouses and stuff. That's where that stuff come from. Your past incarnations, till death do us part. There is no death. So when you go to thinking about that you was on land ruling, you had a partner that you had linked to spiritually, and then you had some goddamn extraterrestrials come here and invade the fucking land and kill your queens, and her sons had to watch that. Her husband had to watch her die before he died. What that create? Karmic debt, right? A motherfucker cursed them, right? Cursed them with their last breath like, bitch, I'll be back for your ass. And when I come back, I'm gonna be the worst, bitch. And then what was my agreement? Okay, be the worst, and I'm gonna heal you before you have to go back. You might have a short life, but in that short life, you better rebel. And my last act with you gonna make sure that your soul get back, but give them hell, baby. So you reincarnated down this bitch to be just that, to rebel. You watched them kill your mama. You watched them kill your son. You watched them kill your daughter before they killed you. In the worst way. Now you they karma. You ain't come back here to come in this system and agree, bitch. You came back to this motherfucker to watch it burn the way they burned your shit down. You came back here to watch the earthquake and drown they kids the way they drowned your motherfucking kids. You came back here to watch it all burn, bitch. Them YNs ain't come back here to be nice, motherfucker. You think they was nice when they came in your house and slit your throat and raped your children and raped your son in front of you and all kind of atrocious fucking shit? They still doing the same shit right now today. You think they was nice when they was kidnapping people, mamas and daddies, and putting them on stakes and burning them and hanging motherfuckers from trees and shit? Fucking drowning whole cities under lakes. You think it wasn't babies in them fucking lakes drowning? Some mothers seen they babies drown and that was their last breath. Like, bitch, I'm gonna come for you. That might have been your last contract for you left this motherfucker the last time. Was, bitch, I'll be back and I'm gonna fucking remember. The eyes is the window to the soul. I always look a motherfucker in their eyes. I never really enter and overstand that till now. Because that's how a soul recognizes a soul, mirror on mirror. You're not gonna remember a person from their physical form. That comes later. Soul memory remembers the soul. How does the soul remember the soul? Eye contact. Voice. Voice comes from the soul. That's your frequency, right? Soul remembers soul. Mirror on mirror. So when you hear me speak, and it awakens something in you, it's because it's mirror on mirror. One soul remembering the frequency of another soul that it's done traveled with many incarnations, and maybe those souls had a contract for right now, for me to talk to you right now and hit you with this story so you could remember your story in a sense. So, divine masculine, what I'm telling you, you not bad. You not evil. You loved. You courageous. You brave. You a ruler. You not a follower. You take the lead. You the principal. You the divine order. You the controller. And you are loved. And I see you. And that's what I'm finna go through here and start telling all my warriors. I see you. And I thank you. Because you are great. I know what you are. And I'll never let these people put a mask on me or a veil on you. I'm always gonna be your mirror and always gonna send you love. Because the love is gonna remind you of yourself. Mirror on mirror. Ashe. So divine feminine. You done been out here, you like, these niggas ain't shit, these niggas ain't shit, these niggas ain't shit, these niggas. They your lesson. And we they lesson. Some of them like, these bitches ain't shit, these bitches ain't. Hey, that's your lesson. Heal your heart. You understand? Because you wouldn't have learned that lesson unless that first girl broke your heart. Who was the first girl that broke your heart? Maybe it was your mama. Maybe it was a girlfriend. Who was the first guy that broke your heart? Maybe it was who? Maybe it was your dad because he didn't show up. He ain't noticed you. So you went through this world trying to be noticed. So many melanated women feel like they not recognized, not noticeable. So many melanated men feel like nobody don't see me. And that's true. Because you talking about don't nobody see your soul. That's what you feel. Ain't nobody recognizing you. Not this. Because you not this. And you something and you know that you not this. But they want to tell you you poor, you black, you're a minority, you're a degenerate. All of this fucked up shit. You not none of that. You something that the Most High done bless this whole plane with. And I want y'all to take that divine love with you. And know no matter what your life path was, I don't care. Whatever dark shit you had to do with them shadows, bro. If you done been in between the dark and the light, if you done dealt with a lot of people that's done just all kind of stuff, you understand? If you feel like you done loved on people and they done you wrong, think about it. You set that up and you had that interaction with them and they had that interaction with you for a reason. Maybe the last life path you used and abused them. So this life path you decided to get it right. Ain't shit random. Ain't none of that gang violence random. You think them YNs running up on each other, killing each other, taking each other out is random? Nope. That's karma being played out, bro, from times before time. Man, maybe that nigga he ran up and just blasted shit. Maybe a couple of lifetimes ago he was one of the niggas that ran up in the kingdom and stabbed the other nigga in the back. And that shit just playing out in this reality now. I'm trying to help y'all to see it. Ain't nothing by chance. This is what I'm saying. Stuff that we perceive as bad don't just occur because it's just occurring. It occurred because something is the result of something else. And maybe it was something else that played out before, or something, a story is playing out now that already got written before fucking time. And you living in that story and witnessing it because you got to bear witness to yourself. You have to bear witness to yourself. That's the only way the soul gonna be able to write its codex. You ain't reincarnate here to do nothing but bear witness to yourself. The negative confessions, which ain't nothing negative. You know, I have not killed, I have not. No, you haven't. Even though you might have did. See, that's where I'm getting to. The soul didn't do nothing. The soul is here to learn and grow and bear witness. The soul is pure. All right. And on that note, tribe, this is true carbon plummet Juliet. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Exactly. And that plays out over life paths, over lifetime. Your goal is to get the lesson, so you could go to the next floor. You can't get to the next floor till you walk all the way around the floor you on. You see what I'm saying? Like, imagine the building again. All of these different life paths, you just getting off on the floor and you going into every room of that house. And you mapping it. And then when you get done with that flow, you hit another chakra, another dimension, you go to another flow and another flow. Same way with the spiritual ascension. And then when you get to the top flow, you gonna know the building inside and out, ain't you? Because you inspected every floor. And then you the tower again. And then you ain't babbling no more. All right. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this discussion. I'm going to be on my Patreon. We're getting ready to, my Patreon today about 6 for everybody that want to come on here. I'm looking through y'all messages now. I'll be going over some, a very interesting article. It's what we already been talking about, really, and what we already knew to be true. That they done went on here and got up off of that. They done, you know, found some of our ancestors' bones that date back millennia by their carbon standards. By their carbon standards, it date back millennia. So we're going to have to talk about that, because basically clones need a body, don't they? All right. So y'all, you go in peace, power, and protection today. I appreciate you too. I appreciate you too. You know, it's funny that no, don't do it. Don't do it. CJ basketball in 77. You know, it's funny. I was getting ready to go, but I can't let you come in here with that energy. Who is this? See, most times people that come with comments like that don't get my attention. But because you got my attention, you know, what is beauty and ugliness? What is that? Is that not perception? Your perception? You perceive me as ugly. What is that within you that perceives me as ugly? Is it my algorithm? Well, this the original algorithm, ain't it? Carbon. So if carbon's ugly, then what's beautiful? Something that's inorganic, that's not real. Perception and reality. Somebody else's idea of beauty could be death. And somebody else's idea of what's ugly could be life. Mirror, mirror. CJ basketball, and they try to come in here and they try to steal the frequency. You understand, because I was leaving on the frequency of love. You understand? So a being want to come in here with the frequency of hate. You understand? With that, but we not getting ready to let them steal our moment of clarity and peace. You understand? And whatever they got to deal with, because you come in this black mirror with somebody like me that's to notice you. Bruh, what you don't realize is I'm not the only thing that's noticing you. Bruh, that'll be a lesson for the next time I come on here. You got to be careful when you mess with somebody that's spiritually in tune and protected. You got to be real precautious when you dealing with somebody that literally told you that they standing on the gate of life and death. You got to be careful. People be thinking it's a game. Look, the shit that's rolling with me, bro, you don't want the man. Bro, I be trying to help people. See, I was getting ready to come up off here. Bro, them warrior ancestors done got fired up. Listen, bro. Listen. One thing about shamanism, spiritual spouses, and all the stuff I'm on here talking about right now, light, frequency, and sound. Bruh, that mirror is crucial. Because I literally am a mirror. What my eyes see mirrors something, bro. And it'll send it right back to you. In a way that's so crucial. My ancestors chopped down family trees, bro. They out here chopping trees, my G. That's why I said don't say nothing. Because the minute I saw it, bro, you be done cursed yourself forever. I ain't got to say nothing. I ain't got to say no curse words, bro. I am the curse, bitch, that came back for your ass, motherfucker. I already cursed your ass when you slit my throat, or when you burnt me on the stake, or when you killed my child, or my husband, or took my village, or took my land, bitch. I was cursing you all from then, bitch. Now you looking at that remanifested in the flesh, motherfucker. And I'm finna watch this bitch burn to the ground. Happily. I'm finna watch this cancer eat through y'all ass like nothing. It's gonna fester on y'all ass like something you ain't never fucking seen. I'm getting ready to watch this water wash all your bloodlines from the planet. Erase any memory of you that ever fucking existed. Bro, the power of hate, motherfucker. When somebody like me turn that shit on, bitch. And somebody like me go to talking about temple codes and stuff, motherfucker. You think you done seen the Black Knight, bitch. Motherfucker, I done became it. Ain't no physical weapon on this planet gonna be able to stop me. It couldn't stop me, bitch. Cause I already said they had till 2025. And motherfucker, ain't but a couple weeks left in this bitch. Tick motherfucking top. I've been sitting here waiting on it, y'all. But I'm finna go back to love. And send y'all off with love, though. Sending y'all with love. Because I love everything that's here for me. But I could become the mirror of that for everything that don't. And bitch, I'm chopping trees. Family trees out this motherfucker. Like you tried to chop mine, bitch. And on that note, we out here for the day. Get out here in this sun with these divine codes. Ashe, Empress Suke, hit them with that infinity, because we is infinity. Neither created or destroyed. We only what? Transferred. Transferred. All right? I love y'all. Go in peace, power, and protection.